Hello everybody, it's Stephen again, and I'm here today to talk about my absolute favorite subject, and that subject is Bitcoin. So, the question on everybody's lips is, do you think that the price of Bitcoin will continue to go up? Although I'm not a fortune teller, I think everything is leading to the price of Bitcoin going much higher. And today I will explain 5 reasons why I think Bitcoin is likely to go higher than the price today. So Bitcoin did have an exceptional 2020 and it started 2021 very well. It actually has risen over 277% over the last year. This may lead you to think that maybe the price of Bitcoin is hitting its peak, but I'm here to explain today why I think it's only the tip of the iceberg. Reason number 1, in 2020 alone, the US printed over $9 trillion, yes, you have that right, I said trillion, into the new money supply in 2020. That means that over 22% of the dollars that are in the US money supply were actually printed in 2020. This is an absolutely astounding amount. Most of this was to do with the coronavirus, which happened around the world in 2020. And caused the US government to give a lot of money away to businesses and to individuals to help them survive the pandemic. This leads to a lot of fear that there could be potential inflation coming in the future, because the more money that you print into the money supply, it means that the less value or the purchasing power your savings will have in the future. And the likelihood is that prices will continue to rise for normal consumer goods. In 2020, we had issues with the coronavirus, and more money was printed and put into the monetary supply in the form of stimulus. We also saw interest rates either stay flat or go negative, which forced the institutions to have to look towards other assets which they could be provided with a great return or a higher yield. The first publicly listed company to buy Bitcoin was MicroStrategy. They have bought over $1 billion worth of Bitcoin over the last 6 to 9 months. We also saw very key strategic buyers from Square. They bought over $50 million worth of Bitcoin, and you can only see that increasing with time. You have also seen many well-known hedge fund titans such as Ray Dalio and also Paul Tudor Jones, who have all publicly stated that they have a position in Bitcoin. We have also seen Grayscale buy Bitcoin at an unprecedented level, with their buys actually surpassing the amount of new Bitcoin that goes into circulation. With a scarce asset like Bitcoin and a large institutional demand, and institutions having multi-decade strategies, it is very easy to see how the demand will outstrip the supply, which can have an upward price pressure on the Bitcoin price over the next few years. 3. Bitcoin is a monetary network. Metcalfe's law states that the value of a network is proportional to the number of users on that network. It is likely that we will see an exponential rise in the number of new users and the number of transactions on the Bitcoin network over the forthcoming years. This means with an increased demand, a fixed supply, and the network effect taking effect, this means that we were likely to see a higher Bitcoin price over the forthcoming years. Number 4, we are seeing key improvements in Bitcoin metrics, such as the number of new wallets, the number of transactions on the Bitcoin network, an increased hash rate, and Bitcoins actually coming off exchanges and going into people's cold storage. This is clearly a positive for Bitcoin, because this shows that there is clearly an increased interest in the Bitcoin network, and this is likely to further grow in the future. The 5th and most important point is Bitcoin is going to eat away at the market share of other asset classes, such as gold. Gold has been a store of value for thousands of years. However, I think Bitcoin is actually a superior store of value because it is easily divisible and is easy to transport across borders. Gold currently has a market cap of $10.6 trillion. If we compare that to Bitcoin, which has a mere $728 billion worth of market cap, surely if Bitcoin can eat away at some of that market share of gold, then it is very likely that the price of Bitcoin will increase over the year. Also, as we see very low interest rates or even negative interest rates in some scenarios, this means that bonds are becoming very unattractive for institutions and they are looking to park their capital in other assets such as Bitcoin. So we could see a lot of inflows of capital coming into the Bitcoin network from these large institutions. So I'm not going to give you a price prediction on the future price of Bitcoin. I think this would be misleading as I, like others, do not know exactly how far it can go. However, I can tell you one thing. I am very bullish and I do expect the price to rise exponentially over time. But just like I tell everybody, please do your own research. I thank you for listening to my video. I hope it was very informative for you. If you have any comments, please feel free to leave them below. Or if you have any future topics you would like me to explore, then please do let me know. Until then, thanks for listening and goodbye everybody.